Hey everybody. I'm going to do a real quick thing here real quickly because I'm kind of running out short on time. But the one question I'm sure a lot of people have asked each other and asked me is how do you get a certain signal? How does a signal travel from one area to another? Well, as you can see here, I have my Wi-Fi router. Now, I've talked about my Wi-Fi router before, but just to kind of make it more simplified for people, and especially the older people, no offense, they really don't know much about this, let me explain. This Wi-Fi router, and if you have one in your house, or your kids and their kids have one, if your kids and your grandkids have one, or something like that, have one, then and at least you're trying to learn how to use it. Let me explain. See, this Wi-Fi router kind of acts like the main satellite. Like how the satellites in space kind of throw off a signal so that cable companies and companies like DirecTV and Dish Network can send the signals into your from the can send the signals from their place, from their headquarters to your home, to your cable boxes, to your dishes. Well, that's exactly what this does. This does the same thing. It sends a signal to any device that's Wi-Fi compatible. Now, now this works two ways. You could decide to leave it open, which means anybody can use your Wi-Fi signal. And let's say somebody has a DS, like this. They can use the Wi-Fi signal to play people online with their favorite DS game. Or if they got the new DSi, they can go on the internet. And the same goes for the PSP and other devices, like iTouch, iPod, iPad, same thing. But if you decide to close, but the other way to use this is closing it. In other words, if you decide or you have someone, if you decide that you just want to have the signal in your area, not all over, like where your next door neighbors and the neighbors in back of you and the people driving by and all that can have the signal for free, but instead of having it just within this area, within your house, then what you do is you close it up by giving it by naming it, by naming your device and giving it a password. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Now, some devices will require you to have a password. Now, you might ask yourself, well, wait a minute, what if I want to be on the computer? What if I don't have access to a cable line or a phone line to put on my computer's tower? How do I do that? Well, it's real simple. You use what is known as an antenna. Now, let me explain. In fact, let me show you real quickly. All right, this is the room where we have the other computer. Now, like I said, if you're asking yourself, how do I get that signal on my computer without the use of a cable wire or a phone wire? It's real simple. You get yourself, I don't know if you can see that, you get yourself one of these. This is like an antenna. This is like, say, your dish that you have for your DirecTV and your Dish Network. And this is also like your cable box that you have for your cable so you can get your cable signal. And what you do is you screw that into the back of your tower like you would screw in cables into the back of your cable box or your DirecTV and Dish Network boxes, and thus you end up getting your signal, like I just said, after you put the password in and basically help it find the signal that needs to be it. But you need one of these to do the signal, to get it. It's like your antenna. Now, of course, you got those little bars. Now, of course, you got those little ones that you just plug into the back of that dish. But still. But that's just the first part of what signals are like and how signals work. And I'll be back later on to show you how signals work when it comes to your gaming console.